Today I'm going to talk to you about procrastination and a crocheted cactus. You might be wondering what those two things have in common, and I'm about to tell you. So, short story to start with. I was watching Oscar do his kung fu a couple of days ago, sat next to another mother who was crocheting. It looked like she was crocheting a hat for a board egg, actually. And I said, "What are you crocheting?" And she said, "I'm crocheting a sombrero for a cactus." I said, "That's different." She said, "I know it's a bit weird, but I make them and I sell them in Norwich." And I said, "Oh, that's really cool. How did you get into doing that?" She said, "It's something I love, something I'm passionate about. And, I made one or two and they sold, and then I made 3 or 4 and they sold, and students seemed to love them." And I said to her, "How many do you make?" And she said, "Well, at Christmas, with all my shelf rental taken out, I made just shy of £500, and I bought myself a washing machine." So there is this lady who has a business, small business, out of crocheting cactus. So the relevance of the story is, what is it that enables us to take something from an idea or a creation to fruition to be successful at something? We all know that the mind is really, really good at playing negative filters. And quite often when I talk to people, they can come up with a million excuses about why they can't quite do something yet, or they're quite not ready. You might recognise some of these. "I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. If I just did X, Y, and Z beforehand, then I could start it. Or perhaps when I'm 40, I'll do it. When I'm 50, I'll do it." These aren't real. These are what you could call them excuses, but they are things that get in the way. Quite often, if you look underneath these things, you will see it's a fear of failure, lack of confidence. What will people think? Am I any good at it? Will I make any money from it? A number of those things. Those are real things, and they are normal anxieties and worries that everybody has. And if you dig down and find out which ones they are, you're more likely to be able to work on them. The other thing to think about is your motivation. So motivation to get to somewhere where you want to get to, or something that you want to do. If you're using words like could, should, or would, I would check those, because the motivation to do something has to come from inside. You have to be passionate about it. You have to really, really want it. Could and should can sometimes stem from other people thinking you should be doing it, or you could do it because you're good at something. But unless you have that personal passion, it's not going to happen. Also, motivation for something that you might have thought 10 years ago might be a good idea, and it's always been at the back of your mind that you might want to do X, Y, and Z. Well, it might not be relevant now. If it's not relevant, take it off the table and do something else, or think about something else. And thirdly, if you have identified what it is that you want to do, really think about who else can help you get there. We all need support and sponsors, and we are surrounded by really smart people who might have things that we don't have, might have skills or experience that we don't have, that if you take a piece of them all together, it will help you get to where you want to get to. And finally, procrastination. We all do it, but try and do it forwards. If you start doing something that takes you away or backward from where you want to get to, that's not good. Try and do the small steps. So read something, research something, speak to someone. It doesn't matter how small the steps are, at least they're moving you forward towards your goal. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And lastly, if you're wondering what a crocheted cactus looks like, here he is. This is Elton. Happy Valentine's Day.